And what year did you come to Sun?
What year did I what?
Come over to Sun.
Come to go to Sun in the first place?
Yeah, 54?
50, well, yeah, I guess you'd say 54. Mm-hmm.
And was Elvis there then?
No.
So you saw Elvis come and go.
Oh, yeah.
So what's the real story about how Elvis was found and whatnot? Was Marion there taking the...
Marion Keisler was there, and Elvis came in. I wasn't there when this happened, but it's what's been told. Elvis came in to cut, Sam would cut a demo on an acetate disc for $4, 2 songs for $4. And Elvis had come in, that's what he wanted to do, 2 songs for his mother's birthday, so they say. Well, Sam wasn't there, but Marion was. And she went back in the control room and she cut the 2 songs for him. And she heard him sing before Sam did. And when Sam come in, she told him about it. Said, this young man came in today and said he cut 2 demo tapes on acetate. Of course, she didn't have anything. Well, she cut them to him and gave him, and he took them with him, you know. And you know, those things got lost. Nobody ever knew what happened to them. And she said his name was Elvis Presley. He works for an electric company, drives a truck. So she said, I think you ought to get in touch with him and get him back in here. So they did. And, well, to start with, when I was down there one day with Gordon, before Elvis came in, first time, and we was asking Sam, we'd done recorded some, you know, and wasn't getting nowhere with it. And so Gordon asked Sam, said, well, Mr. Phillips, said, what are you looking for? He said, I don't know. I really don't. And I'm sitting there listening to this. He said, I really don't know what I'm looking for. He said, but I'll tell you this. He said, I'll know when I hear it. He said, I got something in my head that when I hear what matches what I got in my head, I'll know I've got what I want. So a few days after that, meantime, Elvis had come in and done this. You know. A few days after that, I was back down there, and I walked back in the studio. Sam was doing something in the studio. And he said, hey, Malcolm. I said, yes, Sam. He said, I think I found what I was looking for. I said, you have? He said, I sure have. I said, who is it? He said, it's a young man who drives a truck for an electric company named Elvis Presley. I said, I think he's got what I'm looking for. He said, we're going to put him out. I'm going to record him and put him out. So Elvis didn't have any musicians, so I understand that Sam went and found Bill Black and Scotty Moore, who played for the Starlight Wranglers over at West Memphis, the kind of a western swing dance band. They played for that band, and he went and got them out of that band and asked them would they come over and work with him and this young man named Elvis Presley. And they said yeah, and they came over and they worked until they worked on That's All Right Mama and Blue Moon of Kentucky. They worked on it until Sam got what he thought was it, and it was it, and they recorded it. And he took an acetate disc of it before we even printed it, before we had it on record. He took the acetate disc down to Dewey Phillips on WHBQ on his show called Red, Hot, and Blue, and asked him to play it.
Whoa, yes sir, good feeling, Joe Phillips. Everybody want to buy got Kennedy Veterans Hospital, Ward 24A. Just flat fix and bring you the hottest thing in the country, Red, Hot, and Blue, coming to you through WHBQ in Memphis, Tennessee, and it's Friday night, tomorrow's payday and birthday. That's a good deal.
But Dewey had a country DJ's voice when he was talking. He'd holler and scream and carry on, and he'd tell you to get a load of wheelbarrow full of lizard and run them down to Schaefer's automobile place and run them through the front door and tell them Philip sent you. All that kind of stuff, you know. But anyway, he carried it down there and Sam played it. And they said the response was so big. I forget how many times they had to play it again that night over and over and over. A bunch of times, both sides of it. But as it turned out, That's All Right Mama was a little bigger a hit side than Blue Moon of Kentucky. Of course, both of them was up tempo, so that is actually where Rockabilly got started, right there. That's All Right Mama, Blue Moon of Kentucky. That anything in the world but what they call in Rockabilly today, you know. And of course, that they didn't have a name for it when it first came out. I don't know who come up with the name rock and roll, but that's what it was known by, rock and roll. And everything that came out down there in the early part of the 50s was rock and roll. Until later on, when the Beatles came over here and everything, and then they took over the name like rock and roll, and then us guys, we took over the name Rockabilly, because we was country, hillbilly, you know. But that's how that got started. And then, of course, boy, they started streaming in from all over the Arkansas, Mississippi, and everywhere else. And, you know, like the Sonny Burgesses and even Conway Twitty recorded there under his real name, which was Jenkins, Harold Jenkins. And Charlie Pride recorded there. And it wasn't released, but at least he recorded there, you know. You can say, well, he recorded you. Because they had stuff in the can on him just like it did me and everybody else. Now, I had a bunch of stuff in the can that Sam never released. And it didn't get released until in the late 70s they started releasing some of it, because Sam had sold Sun Records and everything he had in the can and everything to Shelby Singleton in Nashville. Well, they came down and they took everything to Nashville. He has what he calls Sun Entertainment up there now. And then he started letting people from Europe come over and go through that stuff. And Charlie Records out of London, Bear family out of Germany, and I even got one LP from someplace in Japan where they released an LP on one side on me and the other side on somebody else. But anyway, when Charlie and them came over, they started releasing that stuff in Europe.
Well, did many of the people get the guys back there, besides some of the big ones, did they make any money at all from Sun, really?
A lot of them say they did, and a lot of them say they didn't. I say a lot of them. I didn't know a lot of them. Probably like Barbara Pittman, for instance. She was about 15 years old, I think, when she got her first record out down there. And I don't know whether she had more than one record out or not, but I'm telling you, she never got anything out of it. I never got anything out of it except that one little $48 check, and you split that 5 ways, you ain't got much left. And but I really never heard Billy or any of those others say how much, if any, that they got there. Now I know the big ones like Jerry Lee and Carl and Johnny and Charlie Rich. His first record was a big hit, that Lonely Weekends. And I know they got them because Gary had some canceled checks where it showed how much, signed by Sam Phillips, made out to the artist, and their endorsement was on the back of them. How he got a hold of these canceled checks, I don't know. But he did, and he put them in little frames, and he sold them burgers.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But I know they got money because I saw the canceled checks on them.
What was special about Sun Studio and how you recorded and all that? What?
Well, I guess you could say what was special about it. Back at that time, Memphis didn't have any recording studios, you know. But Memphis and the surrounding area had a lot of musicians. There's nobody that ever heard of them, you know, because they played in their own little backyard, so to speak, you know, like I did in Tipton County. Well, we play in Lauderdale County, maybe the northern part of Shelby County, and that was our territory. Because nobody ever heard of you. And the radio shows that we had, the radio show I had up at Covington at that time when they just opened that station up, since we were playing only honky-tonks, they wouldn't let us broadcast it over the radio because it was a honky-tonk, you know. So we just, on Sunday afternoon, I'd just say, y'all come see us next Saturday night. That's all I could say, because I couldn't tell them where it was, you know. But most of the people out there knew where we were playing anyway.
Well, tell us about honky-tonks.
Honky-tonks? Oh, I've been in some rough ones. The ones I started playing first was back in, I guess, 1946 or 47. There was one out east of Covington called the Gay Duck. And at one time it belonged to my piano player, Reese Fleming, because he was in the like jukebox and pinball machine, stuff like that. He was in that business. And it was called the Gay Duck, and we'd play there. We played at 1 o'clock in the morning, and after all the couples, all the men was gone, there was usually a half a dozen or more stags still in there. Well, they'd sell them beer as long as they wanted, but they just locked the door and they wouldn't get back there. And there'd always be some kind of brawl or fight. Race that bring out a jukebox every Monday morning because they'd tear up the jukebox. And then we played, that was one of the rougher ones. Honky Tonks it was actually a place to go, and if you like to dance, maybe drink a little beer or drink a little anything else you wanted to drink. But back in those days, there wasn't any drugs. There was no drugs to it like there is today. If you got high on alcohol. You didn't get high on drugs. And we'd go play for them. They'd dance. They'd drink. And then they go home. But most people came to the honky tonks were country people. They had a few come out of Covington, out of town, not many of them. Because mostly back in those days, country people and city people, so to speak, was kind of segregated, I guess you could call it. Because most of the town people, they like the music. Well, I like it myself because I grew up on pop music. Not what they call pop today, but the big band music. And most of the juke joints when I was growing up as a teenager, the only thing they had on them was big band music. Didn't have any country music on them. But later on, that started in the 40s, along with Ernest Tubb, Eddie Arnold, Red Foley, guys like that, who were my favorite country singers. And I kind of patted myself, I guess, mostly after Ernest Tubb and those three guys, Ernest Tubb, Red Foley, and Eddie Arnold, because I did a lot of their stuff. In fact, this new album I got coming out has got one of Red Foley's biggest hits on it called Chattanooga Shoeshine Boy. And, but we play from 9 to 1, go home, and our day's work begun to be done. In 1953, I bought me a Martin D28 guitar. I still got it today. It cost me $310 when I bought it. And I don't know whether I will say this or not, but I've been offered $5,000 for it, and I will take it. Because I want that to go to my youngest son. He's the only one in my family that plays the instrument at all. And he plays the guitar, and so I decided that'll be going to him.